November 18th, 1978. A single day. 918 people. Dead. Not from a war, not from a natural disaster, from a man who called himself a prophet. This is Jonestown, and what happened there was not an accident. James Warren Jones was born in 1931 in Crete, Indiana. Small town, broken home. A father largely absent, a mother who worked long hours to keep the family alive. As a child, Jones was obsessed with two things: religion and death. Neighbors later recalled how he would hold funerals for animals he found in the yard. Elaborate rituals, serious even then. By his 20s, he had discovered something. That a certain kind of voice, a certain kind of certainty, could make people believe almost anything. In 1955, Jones founded the People's Temple in Indianapolis. He preached racial equality at a time when that was genuinely radical. He fed the poor. He offered community to people who had none. And it worked. The church grew. Jones grew with it. But behind the sermons and the charity, something darker was taking shape. Jones began staging fake healings, demanding absolute loyalty, punishing those who questioned him. Former members would later describe a system of public humiliations, beatings, sleep deprivation, enforced confessions, all in the name of the cause. By the mid-1970s, pressure was mounting. Journalists were investigating. Former members were talking. Jones was unraveling. Reportedly addicted to prescription drugs, increasingly paranoid. So he moved. In 1974, the People's Temple leased land from the government of Guyana, a small country on the northeastern coast of South America. Deep jungle, remote. Far from American journalists, American courts, American law. They called it Jonestown. And over the next few years, over 1,000 followers relocated there. Most of them Black Americans, many of them elderly, many of them convinced they were building a socialist utopia. What they found was something else entirely. 12-hour workdays in the heat. Food rationed. Mail read by Jones's staff. No way out. Loudspeakers blasting Jones's voice at all hours. His sermons, his instructions, his warnings. He called the loudspeaker broadcasts White Nights, rehearsals for what he called revolutionary suicide. He made them practice. In November 1978, U.S. Congressman Leo Ryan flew to Jonestown. He had received letters from families back home, desperate, frightened letters, saying their relatives were being held against their will. Ryan was the kind of politician who showed up himself. He brought journalists. He brought cameras. Jones agreed to let them visit. He had no real choice. For 2 days, Ryan and his delegation toured the compound. Some residents smiled for the cameras. A few, quietly, carefully, slipped notes to the journalists. Notes that said, "Help us get out." On November 18th, Ryan prepared to leave. 17 members of the People's Temple asked to leave with him. Jones let them go. At the Port Kaituma airstrip, as Ryan's group boarded 2 small planes, a truck pulled up. Armed men got out. They opened fire. Congressman Leo Ryan was killed. 4 others died with him, including 3 journalists. Many more were wounded. Jones knew it was over. He had one move left. Back at Jonestown, Jones gathered his followers. He told them what had happened at the airstrip. He told them the end had come. Vats of cyanide-laced punch had been prepared. Syringes for those who wouldn't drink willingly. Medical staff administered the poison first to the children. 918 people died that afternoon. 304 of them were children. Jim Jones was found with a gunshot wound to the head. Whether it was self-inflicted or not has never been definitively established. When U.S. military personnel arrived the next day, they found a silence they could not describe. Bodies stretched across the compound, arm in arm. Some had clearly tried to run. Most had not. Jonestown remains the largest single loss of American civilian life in a deliberate act, until September 11th, 2001. The phrase, "drinking the Kool-Aid," entered the language as shorthand for blind obedience. Survivors have spent decades pushing back against that framing, arguing it erases the coercion, the fear, the very real prison that Jonestown had become. They were not fools. They were people who had trusted the wrong man. Over 200 lawsuits followed. Millions in People's Temple assets were recovered worldwide. A handful of survivors rebuilt their lives. Most of the victims were buried in mass graves. 918 people walked into the jungle looking for something better. None of them walked out. Every crime leaves a trace. This is Vestige.